Hello, Spartan fans. Joe Cook here once again with head coach Anthony Evans of the men's basketball team. 500 outing on the road. Hey, great to be back home here in conference, Eccles Hall. Like I mentioned, 2-2 in a road trip. What are some of the good trends that you've seen from these 4 games?
Well, the second half has been something that has been positive for us. We've scored a lot of points in the second half, but I think we need to bring that same energy in the first half so that we don't have to climb out of a hole.
Right. And speaking of the energy, how's the team focus and the team intensity? Has that changed from game to game?
Well, I think the intensity's been the same. The focus. Obviously, our rotation has been a little bit different with the absence of Chris McKeachin. So you talk about chemistry again. The chemistry has changed. So now we have to get used to him not being there and the things that he does. And it's an adjustment that we have to go through, but we can't go through it very long.
Right. And how much of an effect does that have on the team when you have a guy like that that's absent?
Well, he was our third leading scorer, an experienced wing guy who understands our defensive rotation. We're putting guys in there who haven't played as much. They've come in and done a good job for him. But the way we were playing at Copper State and Morgan State, he was in the flow of that. He started to play really well. The team started to play really well before he got hurt.
But like you said, guys have stepped up. Willis had a good first half in the last game. Marcos as well. You and UMS. These last 4 games have been decided by 7 points or less. So how have you seen the team kind of like hold off some teams when they make a run and then making runs yourself?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for us is on the defensive end. Obviously, when we played Delaware State, they shot the lights out the basketball. So that was something that we've got to work on because we might see them in the playoffs. So we have to do a better job of that. When we played UMES, they shot the ball pretty well, but I think offensive rebounding was the issue there. So there's some areas where we still need to shore up before we continue the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the rest of the season, got rival Hampton coming in. Big game there. Last time you guys played, 63-56, lost only 7 points. Both teams, shot the ball pretty bad, and I think that's pretty much a very defensive game that was. You think it's going to turn out maybe the same way?
It'll be the same. I mean, there's going to be a lot of intensity. The rivalry is always special. The guys get up for it, and it's going to be close. No matter what our records are, the game's going to be close because we're going to play hard. Both teams going to play.
Most definitely. The thing from that game that I thought was interesting, we shot 1 of 16 from 3-point range. But since then, we've been shooting in the high 40 cents, a couple of 9 3-point games as well.
Just rhythm. Guys getting in the rhythm, feeling comfortable, knocking down shots. I mean, that's all it is.
Hampton on a 3-game winning streak, and not much has changed from them statistically. Still tops in the defensive marks in the MEAC, but you guys have home court advantage. Going against pretty much a good defensive team like that. What are some of the ways you can try to get them out of their defensive ways?
Well, we've got to push the basketball a bit. We can't sit in the half court the whole time. We've improved a little as a half court team, but we've got to push the basketball, play our game, be aggressive, our style.
And we were talking a little bit about the standings. Hampton and Thune-Cookman 8-2. Another 2 teams at 6-4. Us, Delaware State, and Coppin are at 5-5. It seems like almost like after the NBA All-Star break, where every game counts now because the stands are so tight.
Yeah, I mean, all of them are important now. Especially for us because Delaware State and Copper State are right there with us. So we've got to try to, get a little streak where we can get some wiggle room. We don't want to be down at the lower echelon of the league, when the playoffs are coming because you don't want to have to play 4 games.
Exactly. Another team that's, I guess you say, on the lower echelon, Howard, your next opponent after Hampton, 3-7 in the conference. You went there and won on TV, ESPNU, handled business there. Made some runs there, and you're able to hold them off as well, but they're also a good offensive rebounding team.
They are. It was something that we were concerned with going into that game. I think we did a good job on the glass, boxing players out. They're very active on the board, so it's important for us to control the glass, push the ball because they like to play zone, but they're a much improved basketball team.
And I guess one thing that stuck out to me about that game is that Kyle didn't have one of his usual double-double nights, but you guys were able to hit some outside shots, and a lot of players stepped up, even though Kyle had a 5-point outing.
Yeah, Brandon Good went in the game and gave us some good minutes. Tim played pretty well, and whoever we put on the floor, did their part to try to take up the slack. I think Kyle was in foul trouble maybe, and then the second half he came in, he solidified the win.
Yeah, Kyle called him Mr. 4 Fouls because he always plays with 4 fouls, but he feels he's a smarter player when he's playing with 4 fouls. You see the Spartans can get back on the winning side of things, taking on rival Hampton this Saturday. For more on NSU's men's basketball, as always, NSUSpartans.com.